everyone. I'm the MC of Success Talk Show. I'm Kim Kyung-hee of Atomy. I can see so many people filling up the space. So for today's Success Talk Show, we have three distinguished guests, Brand and Captain of Atomy. We have Chairman 박한길회장 and the amazing man, happy man, Imperial Master Kim 성일 is with us. And lastly, she's traveling all across the world. We have Crown Master Boon sook with us. So in the morning, Gill, our chairman, in his lecture, he greeted a lot of people from overseas. I believe today's Success Talk Show will be really insightful time. So we'll move on to the very first question. We are joined by so many people from overseas. I think it's related to them. Here goes the first question. So Atom is going global, and we believe that the super synergy of United Heart system of Atomy played an important role. So how was the culture established, the culture of super synergy of United Hearts? We'll first listen from Chairman Park Han-gil. Back in 2006, we established the company, and the next year, in 2007, we first established the global branch in the US. Even before that, the current Imperial Master Kim 성일, under his line, we have been sending a lot of products to the US. So hundreds of millions worth of products were going to the US. So we hurried to open the branch in the US. And back then, what was your mastership then? It was lawyer master back then. So Kim Song-il, our lawyer master at that time, was traveling across the United States, and he was staying like 1 month in the East and West, attending the seminar. Not many people were gathering at that time. How many people were there for the seminar? Minimum and maximum number of people in a seminar. On average, like it was 10 people who attended the seminar. So even with 10 people, they were moving from city to city. And you know, there is an employee named Tom in the US branch, and he became the son-in-law of Yoon Young-sung. Anyway, he was driving with him. I went to other city and had a seminar with 10 or 15 people and moved to another city. So they were doing it like that for a month all across the nation in the US. So when I look at him back then, so maybe after 2 to 3 months, he will be totally exhausted and he will not be able to do that again. After he came back from the business trip, I think he was even stronger back then. He looks quite strong even now, and he was quite exhausted after the trip. So we're thinking about how we can advance into the global market. So maybe we should be going to not only the US, but also to Japan. If we have a new line in Japan and Southeast Asia and China and Europe, then we should be traveling all these different countries. So we have to travel for 1 month in the US. So what about other countries? What if we have new lines in other countries? So if it's individual leaders need to do that, they will not be able to do this for a long time. So the branch manager should be holding some seminars to gather the leaders. So I was wondering how I can recruit such branch managers. So there was not much talented people like me. If there are some talented person like me, I can get that person to do the branch manager for its market, but that was not really possible back then. So I was worried that our leaders would get too exhausted from traveling across different nations. So I gathered all different leaders. So regardless of your line, just go abroad. And to travel all across to the US, maybe we can divide up to West and East, and you can go once a year. Then with 24 people, we can cover both East and West area of the America and organize seminars. So under the condition that you need to pay for your flight tickets. And some people said, I don't have any partner there, so I need to pay for my tickets and give lectures there. They said no. They were asking me why they should do that. So I explained to them why they should be doing that. So until like 2 or 3 a.m., I told about why they should be doing that. And the next morning, they wanted to play the football, and I gathered them again to give a lecture. And until the lunchtime, I told them what they should be doing, but they were not being persuaded by me. So I got them all together and I talked to them for 2 days again. I thought that I need to say at least 10 times to persuade them. I can understand that you don't get it now, but after 10 times, I will count that as once. So if I do that 10 times, it would be 100 times. So I was that determined to persuade all these leaders. And I told them 6 times, spending the whole night up. And it was the 7th time that I was talking to them. We need to go global, but if its individual leader goes abroad by themselves, go to the US and Japan and Southeast Asia and Europe, holding seminars. It takes Lawyer Master Kim Song-il 1 month to cover the US. So what are you going to do? It is too exhausting. So the only way to advance into the global market is to have some teamwork. And we need to be sharing our work all together. So if all of you visit the US once a year, maybe for a trip, and maybe some people it will be your first time to go there, you can just pay for the flight ticket and you will find new partners there. And most of the time, the partners will buy you dinner, and it can be an opportunity to travel, have a tour in the US. So you can visit there like once a year. So there will be nothing bad about this, and it will be a good experience for you. So if we pay the flight ticket for you, the biggest worry for me is that maybe those who are not really qualified might go. So even those unqualified leaders might want to go to the US. Then they give lectures that are not really helpful to other partners. Then what would happen? It will be a failure, right? So people who are willing to go there, even by paying for their flight tickets, it means that they are really good leaders. So people who really are capable of delivering good lectures, those 24 leaders, were dispatched to the west and east of the US, and then we also advanced to Japan, visiting Tokyo, Osaka, and Fukuoka. So that's how we built the system of super synergy of United Heart. So no matter which country we visit in the world, this worked. So anyway, that's how we went abroad. And Park Jong-soo and Kim Hyun-suk was the one who were against this idea the most. What did Park Jong-soo say? He said, "We're not God. We don't have any single partner, but I need to pay for my plane tickets and give lecture there. Then what about my downliners in Korea?" She was really strongly against this idea. And Imperial Master Kim Hyun-soo, she was a lawyer master back then, and she went to the States. And chairman, back then she thought there was no partner there, but it turned out that there was Sharon Low's master partner there. So she asked the person, "Who is your sponsor?" And the above line star master was herself. So it meant that she's her partner. So that's how the system of super synergy of United Heart started. Yeah, that's what the chairman thinks. I think you are only looking at the positive side of the chairman. But the leaders who were struggling back then, it was really difficult for us. It was a big hardship for us. Think about it. There's no single partner there, and giving a lecture there, it cannot really happen. This kind of culture only exists in Atomy. Imperial Master Lee Do-gu, he had experience in other network marketing companies, and chairman was saying something like nonsense. In other cases, they would accept what the chairman says. So in this case, many leaders were against this, but the chairman never gave up. So that's how we had to just accept what he wanted. And the biggest beneficiary for this idea was actually me, because I had lines in the US. But after some time, I think it became a really big advantage for the leaders. So we have the spirit of taking on the challenge. We are not scared of going anywhere in the world. So all the leaders are active in many different countries. And there was really rapid growth. So many branches were opened in many different countries thanks to the system of super synergy of United Hearts. And now we realize that this is a big advantage for us. I think this system enabled the explosive growth that we are witnessing now in all over the world. So I believe Chairman is always right. He have this great insight. So I always want to follow him. Yeah, great chairman and great leaders of Atomy.
And we found some evidence. Did they really talk about it 6 times, and did they really give up on the 7th time? They made the banner when they went on this workshop. Could we see the pictures for that? So they gave up fighting back, and they had global union workshop, and this is when the synergy work happened. And other than this picture, another story that I've heard is that the second Success Academy picture is up on the board. But thanks to the super synergy and the system was rolling, there was a thing that happened that almost broke this down. Should I really talk about it or not? After a while, Park Jong-soo, Imperial Master, the first Imperial Master. Oh, never mind. I guess he was crowned. He was a royal master, but Park Jong-soo, he became a crown master for the first time. And when he became the crown master and came to receive the pin, Kim 성일, Imperial Master, was his sponsor. He was 4, and that was the 5th person, and he was in his line. Never mind. Partner who were in the same line. But when the first crown was made, and in this promotion, he didn't show up. And the atmosphere at the time, people were like, wow, that's not something a human would do. And what he said back then was, people said, oh, people are mad. He's mad that his partner made it higher than him before he could reach it. He left on purpose to have a seminar in Taiwan, just so he wouldn't have to come to it. But that was what people were thinking. And people thought people went to America even though they didn't want to go to it because the CEO said it. And they met people who are partners of Kim Sung-il. And this person didn't even show up when his person made it higher up. How can he do such a thing? And so people were like, oh, we're never going back. We're not going to go to America. Because we were choosing numbers so we could learn more on super synergy. And the only person who benefited was Kim Sung-il. And he didn't even show up, the audacity. And so the atmosphere was pretty bad. But we had to fix this somehow. Kim Sung-il wasn't the problem. The whole royal club, they were all breaking down. They were saying that they weren't gonna go to America. That's the type of person he was. Say something. Do you have an excuse? I'll give you an opportunity to excuse. Sit down. Park Jong-soo, Imperial. He has a short temper, so let me apologize first. I am very sorry. At that moment, when you're living your life, you probably have some downfalls in your life. Sometimes that you are in distraught, like you want to kill yourself. Park Jong-soo and I, we have some kind of competition between us. You sometimes want to win over your sponsor. Park Jong-soo, that was his life goal. He's been doing sports his whole life, so he had that fiery competitiveness. To be honest, I wanted to win over it. But at that moment, someone in Taiwan said that they really, really needed me. So I went, and when I came back, this whole disaster came. I stopped smoking because of the CEO for 3 years, and I felt like I was gonna die because he was doing a whole seminar, and I thought I should have done better. They said that if I apologize sincerely, and if not, I might have to start on my own. And I heard this from someone. Imagine, think about it. Like if that happened to you, I was living under the shade of Atomy. I've never had my own system. I've never had a system of my own. In other companies, you have to make that system on your own to grow. But in Atomy, you don't have to remember that system to grow. So I realized how bad of a idea that was. And if I get kicked out, if all the people I work with get kicked out because of me, that would be a disaster. So I took out my best suit, my best dress shoes, and I kneeled down and apologized. But this came to being because let me tell you the behind the BTS of why that happened. Everyone was turning their backs on each other. Park Jung-soo was so angry. Kim Sung-il, like, is that the audacity? And everyone was just mad. People were going to America when they don't even have partners in America. They were paying with their own money. And all these people, they got so angry. So how were we gonna fix this? So we had this Lee-sung-nim person, and I talked to that person. I have to find a way to make so that everyone comes together. And I told Dr. Lee to wake him up. He's from the military, and he said, I'm gonna make him wake up from this reality. And he said, I'll take care of it, no worries. And when I heard that, I wanted to tell Kim Sung-il that you have to kneel when Dr. Lee comes and talks to you. And when that does happen, everyone there, all the leaders there, I think he was in his 40s, mid 40s. He's now in his late 50s. So in his mid 40s, he's an adult. To kneel in front of other people to beg, I thought that everyone there, all the other leaders like Park Jung-soo, I thought they would think that this action that he's doing of begging with his kneeled, I thought everyone thought he would be accepted. And so we scripted all this out and we told him to do so. And Kim Sung-il, I guess he had a good soul. He's not a bad person, is what people were talking about. And people started talking about how, that was just like a mistake. And everything kind of got fixed. Being an Atomy CEO, you have to really do all sorts of things. Since we were talking about this, you talked about smoking. I told everyone to quit smoking. And I think he quit for a while. When did you get caught? At the Seong Mountain. After the Success Academy, first day of Success Academy. Before we went to the Seong Mountain, we met up at onsen, and we didn't have money to pay for all the accommodation, so we asked people to pay a certain amount and asked people to bring their own food. We were at a condo, so you could have just brought your own food, and we just had a room for people to stay in. And so people paid small amounts, and we had a seminar there. And for a 2-day seminar, I was the only one giving lectures. So 4 hours in the afternoon, after dinner, it was supposed to end around 10, but it went up till 1 to 2 a.m. And the next day, I lectured for like 4 hours in the morning. And I had to do all these lectures. And so at night, I sent people to write their life scenarios. And I had to coach everyone. I went through every single room to coach everyone. So in the morning, since we were still in the early stages, I wanted to give it a great structure, and I thought this education was needed. And I made them fix every single little details. But I've been giving lectures all afternoon up until 1 to 2 a.m. And around that time, my energy was depleted, and I had more energy back then. I think there wasn't an elevator there, but on the way to the hot springs, when we were walking up the stairs, my legs started shaking, and I couldn't go up the stairs, so I was holding onto the railing to go up to the hot springs. Choi Ki-jung, master, he pushed me from the back, and I stopped by every single room to coach people and to correct every single details. And when we reached about 200 people, when we moved to Seong Mountain, when there were more people, there was about 200, so I couldn't go coach everyone. So royals and crowns, I expected them to do the coaching that I couldn't do, but they didn't. So one day, everyone was writing their life scenarios. I brought in the leaders, and I showed the last example I could show, and I opened the door. And at that exact moment, I saw a fog inside the room, and I see some beer cans laying around. And they said you could order chicken. Apparently, they said that they ordered chicken and beer was just on free. I thought Coke was free, but I didn't know beer was free. And so I was like, "What the are you doing?" And I screamed at him. After this ends tomorrow, you're all meeting up there. And I closed the door on him. Thought I was gonna die tomorrow. And so everyone gathered up the next day. I met up with the leaders. Kim Sung-il, I thought you quit smoking. Are you gonna quit or not? And he said he would quit. How can I trust you? You said you weren't gonna do it last time too, but you betrayed me again. Can you keep your promise this time? And he said yes. What if you can't? Gotta bet something. Are you gonna bet one of your fingers? Would you cut your finger off if you smoke again? And he said yes. I felt like I was handling a gangster, and I did quit.
Are your fingers okay now? Anyway, no. During the seminar, many of the multi-level marketing companies, people, they fight, they argue because they drink alcohols. So after the network marketing seminar, many people drink alcohol, drinking soju and beer. Some people come to seminar just for that. And people, when they drink, they fight with each other. So I just was determined to eliminate all this drinking and smoking culture. So I told everyone, no smoking. All the leaders, they should be quitting smoking. You are selling health supplements. How come you are smoking and sell health supplements? So to be respected, and even the leaders should be having more respectful attitude. So almost all the leaders now quit smoking. Imperial Master Kim Song-il quit smoking, so all the other people quit smoking. And I told my employees to quit smoking. Most of them are Christians, and many people don't smoke. But some people have hard time quitting smoking. And among them, there are two people who still didn't quit smoking. And I could see them, some of them, walking alone to smoke. And there is a person from broadcasting team. Anyway, there is an employee who is smoking. His face is just too dark. So I asked him, did you quit smoking? And he just makes some excuses. Until you stop smoking, don't come to work. I'll give the salary, but smoke at home. So once you quit smoking, and come to work. But even though I told him so, he kept coming to the office. And when I asked him, did you quit smoking? Then he doesn't answer. And I was doing like that for 2 to 3 years. And he was really an honest man, so he never lied to me. And he didn't make empty promise to me. And he was making some excuses and not giving straight answer whether he quit smoking or not. And I told him to go home. And I've been disturbing him like that for a few years, and finally he quit smoking, and now his face looks much more brighter. And when he meets me, he says, "Thank you, Chairman. My wife loves me now." So as far as I know, I think there is no employee who is smoking. Maybe there are some in overseas branches. So when we do interview, when they first come to the company, we make them say, "I will quit smoking, I will not drink, and are you going to learn about Bible?" And if they say yes to all these questions, then they can become an employee of Atomy. Some people say that it's against the labor law or something like that. I know that, but even if I go to jail, I want that to be kept by our employees. Yeah, I was also there with them, so chairman can get really angry. And actually, it was during a meeting where all the employees were participating, and chairman was really strong about quitting smoking. And our CEO Choi Seung-gon was saying that maybe that's against the employment law, and our chairman got really angry. It's okay for me to go to jail, but I can't see my employees smoking. And I and many other employees thought, oh, our chairman really loves us. We could really feel that chairman really does care about his employees. Thank you for that remarks. Yeah, she didn't say that I was scary, and she said I was really caring for the employees. You're a great MC. So let's move on to the next question. Second question, even a person like me can become successful. If my partner asks me this question, how can I answer to this? I think it would be a question by a sponsor. Maybe Imperial Master Kim 성il, you can answer to that. Actually, I think I had a quite a big impact to people in Atomy. So I think because even a person like me got successful with Atomy, I think people think it's kind of a doable business. And Imperial Master Kim Kyung-hee, he's my friend. He was the owner of driving business, and he was the one who introduced this network marketing to me. And we really had a lot of difficult times. And he kind of really ignores me, and now I got successful, and I was earning more than 30 million won. And he said, "Oh, if you can do that, I'm sure that I can also do that." And now we are both Imperial masters, but he was really ignoring me. Let me interrupt for a while. There is a reason why Kim Kyung-hee said that. So you did this, so I can also do this. So back then, Imperial Master Kim Kyung-hee was the owner of driving business, and he was just an employee. So yeah, he was his friend, but he was an employee, and Kim Kyung-hee was the boss. But I did all the sales. He didn't know how to do the business. Anyway, Imperial Master Kim Kyung-hee was the owner of the business. So we were doing real estate business together, and that one, Kim Kyung-hee persuaded me to do that, and he was kind of selling the land, but I couldn't do that before, so he always kind of ignored me. And he saw me that I got successful with Atomy business, and he thought that he can surely become successful with Atomy because I also did it. And she kind of ignored me. Yeah, I saw him getting successful, and I was sure that I could be even more successful than him. And whenever he made some trouble, I always had to take care of all these troubles. Yeah, he looks quite a strong and big man, but all the troubles that he made, I had to take care of them. So I know I'm not really a talented person, but after looking at his success, I was determined that I could be really successful. And one of the reasons why I started Atomy business, at the beginning in Jeonju Center, there was a lady who were not really good at shoulder plan. So I took 3 months off while I was doing the business, and she became sales master. So when I first met Atomy, my goal was to become the sales master. And even that was difficult for me. But I saw that old lady achieving the mastership, so even she did it. So now I think I can do this. So her example gave kind of confidence to me. So she's my sister, so she knows my past failures. So I was kind of a loser. That's what all the people thought about me. But when I wear this swan badge, and there are many people who touch on my badge, and now I'm Imperial Master at me. But I was really a very ordinary and normal person, having a lot of flaws, so every one of you can be successful like me. Yeah, I think his message gives a lot of courage for us. And Crown Master Boon sook, at the beginning of the business, I think there was one word that your brother said, and that made you to decide to do this business. What was that? Actually, until my brother became lawyer master, I never used the product. I never attended this kind of seminar, but I could see that my brother changes and his life was changing. And I really wanted that this company would be able to protect my brother's success. And one day, my brother asked me to join a seminar with him, and I wanted to check if this company is really good enough to do that for my brother. And I went to Songrisan Mountain, and as I listened to the lecture of the chairman, I just attended the seminar for 2 days, and that's how I decided to start the business. So he never asked me to do the business, and I voluntarily said that I would want to do this business. And I didn't have a sponsor, and I pioneered my right and left wing and became a sponsor on my own. Anyway, for 5 months, I didn't have any partner, and I was going to seminar alone. But other people, they had sponsors and partners, but I was alone all the time. So I asked him, what should I do? And he said, sis, don't worry, just come to the seminar. If you don't get successful, I can get the money for you. You don't spend that much money, right? And that moment, I thought, oh, even you got successful. I can become even more successful than you. Wait and see. I'll be even more successful than you. So that's what I thought then. And that's how I started Atomy business. I only graduated from elementary school and I was working at a factory for 3 years. And from the age of 17, I was in a sewing shop, clothing shop, and I was working like that for 10 years. And in the 70s and 80s, the tailored clothing shop was really going well, but it just the business is closed down, and I didn't have any connections. I didn't have any education, so my brother thought that I am not capable of doing anything. But anyway, I worked on my own to earn money, and so I was confident that I'll do better than my brother. And later on, as I met my partners, I got to realize where there was difference between my brother's success and my success. So this family, they were ignoring each other. So Kim-성일, that even a lady who seems like she doesn't know anything can become sales master, so I can become like her. And actually, I have some grudge over Kim-성일 because above Park Jong-soo, he couldn't really go up above Park Jong-soo.
Park Jong-soo, he was above Kim Sung-il was above Park Sung-il because Park Sung-soo borrowed some money from a fund or something. So Park Sung-soo needed that money, so he had Kim Sung-il to be above him. But I haven't heard that he paid him back. And Park Sung-soo, now that he's rich, he's kind of forgotten about it now that he's rich. You should pay him back. So he let him apply before him. And so he should have done something to show his gratitude. But he said that this Atomy business didn't really have a future. So he disappeared for 3 months. So Park Jong-soo became a sales master and he made a lot of sales. And he was able to make 1 million around then. So Park Sung-soo made it. And so he saw that happen, but now that he saw some random lady achieve it, he kind of woke up. And so the sister also saw that and was like, oh, he wasn't even that great at anything growing up, so I couldn't be better than him, is what the sister thought. But he thought that his sister has been sewing and just cooking at home. So basically this household just like has beef with each other. My sister, she was a victim. She was a victim of when I was doing another network marketing business. Oh wow, there's hidden beef between you two. And so that's why she started. And I really respect her. And the reason being, when we went to America, we had a revival meeting in Hawaii and then went to America. And the sister said we were gonna send her to America, and she was like, I only know how to cook. How could I be there? How can she achieve success in that area, in that atmosphere? How can she make a market? And so he was frustrated by that and thought it wouldn't make sense, but it happened regardless. But since she could read Korean, and in New Jersey you could see some Korean banners, so she expected them to be Korean. Since the visa allows you to stay in America for 3 months, she wanted to achieve business there. So every morning when she would wake up, she would go to different stores and she would talk about Atomy business. When I first went to the New Jersey seminar, she already had 100 to 120 people there. And so she gathered people saying that the CEO was coming. And amongst them was Simchegan Crown Master was there. And he was in a situation where he went to study abroad in America and his visa ended. So he was an illegal immigrant in America. And since he was illegally staying in America, he couldn't really work. He can't get a passport. And so he was living as an illegal immigrant. But he had 4 kids. So if he didn't work for a day, he couldn't continue on living. So he was doing 3-4 jobs until the AM. And he was making a living in that way. But when I was having a seminar in New Jersey, he came over. But this company that wasn't really well known anywhere. 100 people were there and 30 people